13.
Damn, you pretty good at eyeballing stuff then.
I'm good with measurements.
I'm gonna leave that one all the way along.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Listen, we're talking to you guys about Ready to Live, okay? Now, this is episode 3, which is gone. I know we've got a new episode tonight, but I wanted to break this down for you last one before we go into a new episode. And we're talking about Stacy versus Alexis and why Stacy isn't considered to be as overt as Alexis. And I think it's really, really simple. I'm sure most of you get it, but I did see some comments in the comment section like, why is Stacy not like the same as Alexis? And so I wanted to break a little bit of it down just so you understood why Stacy isn't like Alexis. And hopefully also as well, ladies, you can take something from this as well in terms of how you flirt, okay? Because some of you might be coming on a little bit strong, just a little bit too strong, yeah? Or maybe non-existent at all. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of what uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. All right, cool. Let's get into this video. So, we just heard a conversation between Stacy and AJ, and she just literally made it was an innuendo in a sense, but it was slow. It was underneath the radar. One that obviously, do you know what? If he decided to make an innuendo and she wasn't thinking that, she could be like, that was not what I was thinking. I just meant that I could measure stuff, right? The innuendo is meant to be a good innuendo is meant to be, if it was to go wrong, you could flip it back the other way. Right? A really good innuendo, a really good flirt bar should be able to go back the other way if you're doing an innuendo, because the person has to interpret that. And that and it says a lot more about the person who's interpreting it than just you, right? And that comes with tone, the speed, the delivery, what you actually say, what words you choose. Now, in this particular instance, she used, he said, obviously, how about you eyeball the shoe size? And she said she's really good at eyeballing it. And then she then goes, says number 13. And then she goes, yeah, I'm really good at measuring stuff. Actually, technically, both of them actually looked at each other. Let me just show you what I mean by this, right? So both of them actually interpreted the information. Look at this.
I'm good with measurements.
Pause. They both looked at each other and they both laughed. So it was fine because this was a mutual joke that they both shared in that instance, and they both had dirty minds. Fine. Right? That works because both of you have a dirty mind and you're both going into that space, right? That's cool. Right? Now, what would have been really awkward is if Stacy kept on adding to the sexual joke that's just made there. And she made another one. Oh, how long are your fingers? Because you know what they say about big hands. Like, it would have been too much. Like, this was subtle. It was enough. It showed interest. And let me say this very phrase to you guys. Women like to be lied to. Men like to be manipulated. It doesn't actually mean these actual things, but just deep what I'm saying. Women like to be lied to. Men like to be manipulated. It doesn't actually mean those things, but I wanted to say something to you guys. Reason why I said men like to be manipulated is that men don't want overt, okay? They want to be manipulated into the thing. So, for instance, when it comes to sex, yes, men want sex, but they want the manipulation of being drawn into a relationship through the enticement of sex, but not an overt giving of sex. Right? Because we want to be able to hunt. We want a little bit of a chase, and the chase must end. I want you to understand it's a very conscious chase that men are going through. We want to chase you, but we want the chase to end. It's no good you being too hard to get, and literally you are too hard to get. That's not how it works. It's meant to be, play a little bit hard to get, but we eventually can get you. So like completing a game level, right? You beat the boss. Eventually you can, the game is not impossible. Right? There's strategy to it, but it's not impossible. When it becomes impossible, nobody wants to play that game anymore. There has to be a chance of being able to win. And that's what an innuendo or a flirt does. It kind of entices the person. In fact, biblically, when you read Proverbs, David says, avoid the adulterous woman who seduces you, entices you to come and sleep with her, right? Because part of this whole game I've said to you guys about is the dance. And when you dance, you want to be able to flow. It's a nice flow how the dance should go, right? It should flow. When someone becomes jerky and too heavy, like Alexis was doing, that's when you start putting on far too much. Like, ladies, you know men that have done way too much, like said too many lines or too many flirt bars or too many innuendos that become too much. Now you know that all they're thinking about is sex. And that's why Stacey and Alexis are completely different. The little flirt that she does is enough. It's enough. Let's watch it a little bit. Look, they have a bit of a laugh themselves. Watch.
I'm gonna leave that one all the way alone. Yeah, drink your drink on that. Yeah.
The drink made me say that.
No.
You see? So now we have that little, he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave that all the way alone. Actually, he gave Alexis kind of the same energy. When she started joking around sexually first, he was cool with it. And then she kept on going on and on and on and on. But in this instance, you see how, she drops a little innuendo and he says, I'm gonna leave it all the way alone. Now, if she pursues further to drop another bar, you're doing too much. You're now sounding desperate. Ladies, drop one innuendo and keep it pushing. Man, them too, drop one innuendo and keep it pushing. Once she's accepted it, you don't have to drop a second one and a third one. You don't have to. You've done your job. They've accepted it. They appeased it. They liked it. Cool. Move forward now. Change the subject. Talk about something else. Because you've already secured. You've already got it in the bag. They are cool with it. They're happy to flow with it. They've got the chemistry flowing. Cool. Now move on. But when you stay there, it shows that your mindset to the other person is that you're stuck on sex and not stuck on trying to get to know them. Everybody wants a little bit of a flirt. Everybody wants a little bit of that manipulation. When I say manipulation, a bit of that game. Okay, we all want a little bit of that game, a little bit of that. Give me a little tip, give me a little bit of tip. Well, give me a little tick and tap. Give me a little tap. I'll give you a little tap. Give me a little tap. I'll give you a little tap. We like the little back and forth, right? It's playful. All right, that's called what we call ludus love in the Greek, meaning the playful love, that little, that little flirt that you have, that little banter that you guys have. That's what Stacey was giving AJ at that particular time and point, right? And even when you look later on, I believe as well, and you saw them else, you can see them here holding hands. Here's another thing as well. You can flirt with your body, but you can do too much sometimes too, just like with your words. If you're using your body, leaning into him, playfully play fighting kind of thing, it's all well and good. Just got to know a limit. There's a limit to how much you can do that, throwing your body at a man like that when you first don't know him. The trouble here is that when you be explicit with sexual jokes, explicit, not innuendo, being explicit, what can happen is you come off aggressive. Like imagine I said, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want to F you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want to F you. Straight to the point, direct, lovely, but it does come off a bit aggressive. Now, what most people want is to be lied to. When I say most women, I don't say women like to be lied to. What I mean by this, come over, innit? It's just a Netflix and chill. I don't even want to do nothing. I just want a Netflix and chill. Now, girl, you don't know already he does not want Netflix and chill. But it's much better to hear Netflix and chill because it's like we fell into this madness. I fell into it. It just happened, right? Nothing ever just happens, but it just happened. So when you tell your girls, it's like, oh, it just happened. It didn't just happen. You went over, but no, he's definitely not going to Netflix and chill. He's going to do something else, right? So women oftentimes like the lie. Men like the manipulation. They like the little bit of the enticement. Do you know what I'm saying? So yes, throw the dog a little bone. Let him come hunting a little bit, right? But you know what I mean? You're drawing him in. Yeah, he knows what it is. She knows what it is. But he wants the little bit of enticement. Draw me in. I want to be drawn in. Draw me in, right? And that's what you lose that when you go direct. When you go direct, you lose that. It's not a porn film. This is life. It's a dance. Show us your steps. Show us your steps. Can you move your legs? Because that's what it really is and what it comes down to. What I would say also about Stacey is something that she did, which was really, really well. And I think it even impressed, it really impressed old boy as well. She actually remembered that AJ didn't eat pork and brought it up as in the conversation. Let's have a little watch.
Pull it up.
Alexis, she a baddie, bro, just like, pow, like, dang.
Do you know what we're cooking today?
Let me pause there before copyright come after me. Just before I even make that comment about and show their clip about the pork even, I love Diedrich's obviously talking about Alexis saying obviously that she's a baddie, she's this and that. Listen, I think Diedrich is seeing Alexis as, look, that's probably why Tressa's not in his viewpoint right now, because he's probably thinking he's got a chance with someone like Alexis or some of the other girls. He will come back to Tressa if the other girls don't give him play. Like he said, I only like you if you like me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's his MO. I only like you if you like me. But the, Alexis to the guys is hot. She's attractive. She's sexy. They like her. She's just doing too much. She needs to rope it in. I've said this in our own review, but let's just play a little bit more Stacy and
You
AJ.
have this pork that you don't eat.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Look, I am impressed.
You see? And listen, another thing. Small details make up to big, big, big prizes. Look, a roof doesn't cave in overnight. It caves in after several tiles are missing. But guess what? It probably started with just one tile that was missing. And after a while, 2 or 3. And then before you know it, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then before you know it, the roof caved in. So you have to understand small details. The Bible says, do not despise small beginnings. So when you're dating someone, the smaller details that you remember of that person can make very big changes. Big, big changes. And the fact that Stacy brought that up, listen, it's by chance that they were cooking pork, but still, chance and being aware at the time and the season to perform is also needed. She consciously mentioned it and said, "Hey, look what we're cooking. We're cooking the pork, the thing that you don't want to be eating." And look how impressed he was. Why? Because men also want women that are thoughtful, kind, appreciative, grateful, generous. They look for these characteristics in a woman. So when a woman is able to remember small details like that about, hey, look, I remember you said that, I remember you said obviously as well, like you like this thing as well. Like, how's that going? Right? Like little details like that. Like sometimes I'll be talking to someone and someone might be like, hey, I remember you were doing this and that. I'm like, whoa, you remember that? Like, look, I remember, and women want this as well. I remember at work is the worst place. You see it at work, right? What will happen is someone will come into work and their hair is diddy. Yeah, it's done nicely. Then they'll come in maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, or whatever, and I see the hairstyle's changed. I'll be like, hey, your hairstyle's changed. It looks nice. And they'll be like, you noticed? I'm like, yeah. It's like, how did you notice? And my husband didn't notice. I don't know. I just saw it. Like, I pay attention to these things. Or I see the nail. I pay attention. So I look at their nails and they change their nail color often, right? Like, oh, you changed your nail color. You were red last week. Now you're beige this week. I like it. Nice. You noticed? Like, how did you know? Because these are the small details make up very big pictures. Okay, jigsaw pieces are completed with little pieces. Okay, to make a big picture. So when you are on talking with somebody, the little minute details that you remember are so important. They help you build up a bigger picture with that person. And it can show to the person you're thoughtful as well and appreciative. So, I saw that. And let me just give another clip where Alexis was just a little bit heavy-handed. Again, and word choice is important.
Was coming on real strong and aggressive.
That's some sexy cheese, baby. Yes, honey.
Just see, it's when we don't know each other, things like that can turn a lot of men off. That's some sexy cheese. Like, imagine if a man was like, "You're some sexy cheese." Like, you're looking at that. Why is he saying that cheese is sexy like that? Like, it just comes off a little bit heavy, right? It's a little bit heavy. Choice of words are so important when you first meet people. Sexy cheese, raunchy cheese. Like, yo, brother, it can seem a little away, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, making sexual jokes early on when you don't know the person can also be very risky. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that person will build up a perception and a picture of you. What? The cheese is delightful. Yes. I love the taste of this cheese. Yes. But sexy cheese, it's a little bit strong. Just a little bit strong. And that's the difference between Stacy and Alexis. I think also what's playing on AJ's mind is how loud Alexis is. No beef, but Alexis can be heard. Okay, whereas Stacey's a bit more quieter, a bit more reserved, but still gives you life when you meet her one-to-one. That's what a lot of guys do want. Like, don't get it twisted. It's good to have the extrovert, but when their person's too loud sometimes, and it's a lot of men to get turned off by that, to be honest. Why? Because they want to be the loudest person in the room. That's already oftentimes what it is, number one. Number two as well, it just shows that the person may not know their surroundings, may not know how to be classy, may not know how to be, behave in a more, I would say a more respectful manner, right? It will seem like they don't know how to behave in a respectful manner. Nothing that Alexis did was disrespectful. It's just that in an environment like that, when you are so loud, like she's got a bunch of energy, right? Later on, she goes to Jason and is like, "Oh, Jason, I'm glad that you're here. I'm better for you being here." It's like she's always on 10, and I get it, I respect it. But being always on 10, a lot of men are like, "So where do I fit into that on 10? I'm not really trying to be on 10 all the time." Do you feel what I'm saying? If you're always on 10, you're gonna drag me out of my comfort zone. I don't want to always be on 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want to be chill. A lot of men just want peace. And what Alexis does represents non-peace. So that's the difference between Alexis and Stacy. Stacy calms you down, seemingly calms you down. We saw that even with when she was talking to KG, even though KG got blown off by her, calm nature. Even when Ida came by, I sat with her, calm nature. Men want peace. They don't want war. You know what I'm saying? We want peace. We don't want war. We don't want the spice. You know what I'm saying? We like spice in your looks. We don't want spice in your energy. Like when we say spice, we don't want too much spice. We don't be coughing and choking when we're talking to you. No. You know what I'm saying? We want it to be classy, respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they want it to be. So I think with Stacy and Alexis, there is a clear difference at the moment in terms of how much pressure they apply in each individual scenario and scene. But Alexis definitely was applying a lot of pressure to AJ and even to Jason at some point as well. But it will not yield fruit in the end because men want peace and they don't want war. And they want to have a chilled life. And at the moment, she's not showing chill at this moment. So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. Ooh, right.